Hi, welcome. It's Lonnie. And you're watching Grace Blossoms for You. And I have these things that I see every day at work. And they are the ties to the newspaper bundles. And I have wondered sometimes if there's something that they could be used for in scrapbooking. And it dawned on me this morning what I could try. And I'm going to make closures, or attempt to make closures for my journals. So the first one I'm going to try and do is with a fabric snippet roll. I'm going to try and attach it and see if this is even a thing that we can do. So the first one I'm making is I'm going to attempt one for my ideas journal. And so I have measured the width of it. I hope it's not going to get too much wider. I might have to make a second one. But I've measured that. And I'm going to try and put this on here. Now you're asking, why would I do that and not just use the snippet roll? Well, good question. Because I'm trying to use up something that otherwise would be thrown out. And I was wondering if it would give it a little more stability. In fact, they're pretty skinny, so I might, in fact, try to do two. That would give it even more stability. So then I have to measure it again. This time I have frayed ends on both ends, so I have to measure it this way. Why do I make things so complicated for myself? I don't know. So the curve has to line up. Okay, something like that. So then when I have my hot glue ready, something is not quite steady. There's a fray, and I think it's coming from one of the fabrics here. So that I don't know. I must have cut it off. I think I cut it into strips after I did some, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I did, because I have pinking on both sides, so I did cut into it. Okay. So then I'm going to put this upside down, and I'm going to start at this end. Hopefully it will be visible. And then I just have to wait until my hot glue is ready. So yeah, today is all about experimenting and trying to use up something that would normally just be thrown out. Oh, and for the end, I have this Velcro, or hook and loop fastener. I think that's what they called it. And so I might have enough for two. This was from a box that my husband bought for something, and it was left over. And of course I said, I can use that. So I think I'll be able to get two closures out of that. So just waiting for my hot glue gun here. warming up, but it's not hot yet. Okay, it's finally to the point where I can put it down. Now, I totally realize that this may be completely redundant, but if you are looking to make something sturdier and you don't have, like, I don't know, what would you use? See, I'm not even sure. I guess I haven't really tried to make anything really sturdy in the way of a closure, but it occurred to me to give this a try, so here I am trying it. And who knows, maybe this isn't even for me. Maybe this is for somebody else that is looking for a way to make their closure not as flimsy as it maybe is. I would just say that you'd have to kind of hide this one because I don't think it's really attractive on its own. Trying to put down a fairly thin line so it doesn't gush all over. And too, I was thinking we could have done it like a ruffle, but we would have had to do that already. Maybe we can try that for another one, because I was thinking of ribbon actually. So how are you doing today? Are you doing well? I hope that you are. I never get any answers when I ask that question. And that's because you're not here. But I do think of the people that may be watching, and I do hope you're doing all right. And yes, some of this will undoubtedly end up on your 10 digits. Okay, so that's one band, that is. If I want to do the other one, I'll have to do that now. And I think I'll put it right beside it. This looks like it has two pieces of material, so it's already a little sturdier just for that. So I'm going to put it on the colored part here where the loose pieces are. I'm running out of room here, so pardon me. Okay, try this one more time. Just putting it right next to it. I kind of hope this works because I don't get ideas very often about how to try new things, so I don't know. To me, it's new. I've not seen anybody use these things before, so if you have a better use for them, or you know how to go about this better, then please leave something in the comments. I mean, I suppose you could use stiff paper like cardstock. But I didn't think of that. I thought of this, so trying it. When it comes to trying things and making them work, I suppose my greatest inspiration is my husband, because he's always working on his truck, and he always tells me things that he's had to improvise because they don't make things the way he needs them to be, or whatever the reason. And he's my great encourager also because, back in, I don't know, it was over a dozen years ago, early 2000. Okay, that's not quite right. I didn't even know him in the early 2000s. Early 2010-ish to 2011, somewhere around there. He encouraged me to try to learn the program Photoshop so that I could design some graphics. Not like the graphics you see nowadays, but they were more for scrapbooking, and I thought I had a realistic style, so I wanted to just learn the basics. And anyways, he encouraged me to learn Photoshop, and so that I could manipulate and handle images better. And I had such a hard time with it. I just about threw my laptop on the floor a few times, and he just wouldn't let me quit because I found the learning curve so difficult compared to this little program that I had been using before. And that taught me that just because things are difficult doesn't mean they're impossible. So I think I've learned that now, and when I keep that in mind, because, it's easy to forget things that we've learned. I try to pass that on to other people, especially my son, who hasn't quite learned that yet. But I think we'll get there. I think that's a really important thing to learn. And who knows, maybe everybody else already has learned this and it's just me that's slow on the uptake. But anyways, I did learn. All right, so I think I have an overlap, so I'm just gonna grab my journal. And then the way this should work is to put that down. And then obviously I want it to be sort of closed. Maybe put that a little bit more so there. And then this will come over. Now for now, I think I will keep it a little bit loose. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna force it too much because there is still some things that I can put in there. So then I can put something pretty here, but I'm going to do that after, if I decide to do that. At first, I'm going to put the Velcro in, and I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, so then one piece needs to go on this edge and one piece needs to go on that. I think I'm going to put the little piece there and I'm going to put the big piece over here. So, oh, wait a minute. See what I almost did there? One piece has to go on the right side, so that'll be this piece, and then that will cover that. Okay. Glad I caught that. I think I got a little too much. I didn't want the hot glue to show. Alright, so that will be that piece. And then, I mean, if I put a really long strip in, it could be adjustable. So that's something to keep in mind. So for now, I will just place it down. Sorry about the angle. Okay. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit big. Maybe I can move it a little bit yet. It was not quite set, so I was able to move it. I'm just going to put it there. Could cut that off if I really wanted to. I'm just wanting to make sure it's actually set this time. It'll still be loose. So that's not the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but still it could be useful. If I was completely done with my journal and was determined that I wasn't going to put anything else in there, this would probably be fine. I would have just made it a little more snug. So as for this part here, I feel like we need something. And I think I have what I'm thinking of. It could have been a fabric butterfly because that is the theme on the cover. But I also have all these wooden shapes. And I think a butterfly would be nice. Something like that. Especially if I were to put some gold on it, that would be nice. I don't know, what do you think? Is that a good idea, bad idea? Nothing special. It's okay, you can tell me. I won't get offended. But yeah, something like that. And then I think I would put some gold on there. Probably my, what's this called again? Luster wax. And I never have anything to apply it with. Oh my goodness. Okay, there goes my finger again. I probably have a gold pen around here too, but I decided to use my finger. I do like the smell of this luster wax. It has, I think it has essential oil in it, and what I'm smelling is orange. So it's kind of fun to use. Okay, so there's one closure. Now, remember I said you can mess with it and make it go. I mean, I could have put it there, but in fact, even if I just put the end of it together, it'll still hold, and then it'll be a little bit adjustable. So even if you make the strips longer, that'll work. I like it. I mean, it's different. Like I said, I haven't seen anybody do that before, and I've got gold all over me. Let's see, where else can I put some? It's a journal, and it's an ideas journal, so I can pretty much do anything I want at this point. All right, so yeah, I like that. So we do another. What I was thinking was if we grab some lace, and I was thinking white lace, and I was thinking not too wide. All right, well, try and make do with this one, I think. For this one, I'm just going to use one. And since I don't really have a journal, another journal that I need a closure for, just use, I'll just go with this and see what happens. So I would have to put the glue on there and then scrunch it up like so. Hopefully I'm in camera, in frame. All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens. This band is not very sturdy on its own either. I mean, it's stiff, but it's not heavy enough to stay. Something like that, and I'm going to get hot glue all over my mat here, I think. The price we pay. Okay. Small strips of glue does it. And maybe just little dots. Try to. Something like that. Might be all right. I can see myself using this as a way to decorate a journal closure. And that one I made too long. I was trying to get them kind of even, but it's not quite working out perfectly. But it's handmade, so this obviously would be for a true junk journal because, like I said, this is a strap that would be normally just tossed. Maybe they could recycle it, I don't know. Another thing I just thought of, you know, sometimes we add ruffles to things using hot glue when we don't want to sew. Well, who's to say you couldn't make a bunch ahead of time with this method and then they would be ready to go as well. So there's that idea. Sorry if I'm out of frame, it's hard to concentrate here. Almost done, just got a little bit left. And it's too late. Oh well, it's right at the end, so that could be the extra might be trimmed off anyway, so. Okay, so I really only have the one journal to, I mean, I don't want to make a whole bunch and then make them ahead of time and then not have them be big enough. So I'm not going to make a whole bunch ahead. I just wanted to make a couple just to see if this would work. And it would, and then again I can still put something pretty there. Don't need two closures all at once though. Something like that. Of course you could use prettier lace. This is the one I think I tried to dye and it didn't quite take, so now it's kind of trying to decide whether it should be white or cream color. I would have to chop that down for this one. But there, it kind of looks like if you didn't want to tie the lace by itself, then I think this would be a good alternative. Anyways, that's my idea and that's what I tried, and let me know your thoughts. Do you like it? Would you use it? Can you think of other uses for these bands? Because I get them every day and I would like to use them up in a nice way, in a creative way. So there, made two and I still like them. I will keep that one. And yeah, sorry there's not room to show the whole thing, but unless I go like that. But anyways, thanks for joining me and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.